Oops, this whole time I forgot to unmute the mic. So let me just we'll start over here. So let me go back to the screen. So we've got the Android, we just opted into the Android 16 beta here on my Pixel 9 here. I had a Pixel 9 Pro XL, as you guys remember, back in October, November-ish, which I sold, but I had a Best Buy gift card, so I figured I'd pick this up because Android 16 looks really enticing. So we're gonna check this out here on the Pixel 9, and I've seen a lot of people, like, they saw the Android 16 preview and they're like, I'm gonna go buy a Pixel now because Android 16 looks so good. So we are going to we're gonna try it out here. So we're enrolled here. We should be able to go to settings and go down to system and software updates. Let's see, is this gonna do, we need to kind of get rid of this update first and see, because this is not the beta. Let me force close settings and try this again. I needed to check for a new update. It looks like it's because this one is already in progress. So we might have to finish that update first because I can only pause it. So we might have to let this update first and see what it's gonna do. I don't know how large the Android 16 update is. This is just installing the update out of the box. I just unboxed this phone right before this. And this one's 716 megabytes. But this is not Android 16. This is just the first update to whatever it's coming from. So yeah, like I said, that's not Android 16. That's not the beta though. This isn't installing the beta right now. This is just doing the update. This update was already in progress when I enrolled it, so I have to finish this one because it didn't check for a new update yet. While we wait for this, does anybody know where to see the battery information on here? I know you can see, that's not just a Pro thing, is it? You can see that on the regular one, right? I thought it was under, I thought you could see it under like about or battery, but I don't see a battery information section. Like there's battery widget, you can add the battery widget and battery diagnostics, but as far as like actual battery cycles, yeah, I did. I tried that too, but I typed in, like, it's called battery information. Like I know that's what the screen's called, but nothing comes up. So I know on my Pixel 9 Pro XL you could do it. So I don't know, maybe it just needs to be updated or something. I don't know how far behind this one is, but I thought you could do that on the regular 9. So we'll wait for it to update, I guess, and we'll try it again. But like I said, I don't know how far back this is because it's on like let's see. That's the build number right there. And then it's on the December 5th security patch, September 1st play system update. I'm not going to update that right now because it's already updating everything else. So I'm just going to leave it. But I am right, Casper. You can see the battery cycles and manufacture date and everything on the regular 9, right? Like I thought there was like a hardware information section too. Like I mean, I looked it up. It says settings, about phone, battery information. And we're in settings, about phone. and there's no battery information. So I don't know. So I don't know. We'll finish the update and see. Um, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to work on anything on the 8A and up. So yeah, if it works on the A series, it should definitely work on the regular 9. It's not downloading anymore. It's just installing. It already finished downloading. It paused because my apps were downloading. But I think all my apps should be. Yeah, all my apps finished downloading. So I was trying to get everything to finish downloading because I just restored it from my backup. That way I didn't have to go through and download a bunch of apps again. But I haven't set this phone up. I just unboxed this phone like literally like 10 minutes before I started this. So I'm very excited to try Android 16 though. I was looking at like some videos of it. Um, yeah, I don't know why this phone would be so far back because I did that on my other Pixel in when I had it, and I didn't have my Pixel in December when this update came out. I had my Pixel like in like October, November. I think I sold it sometime in November. So I don't know why it's not showing up on here. Maybe it's the Play System update because it's in September, but I'm not too sure what update they added that in. So I'm just gonna let it update till update to Android 16, and then everything obviously should be there. If anybody's interested in picking up a Moto G Stylus 2025, I've got one for $299. I'll let it go for. I never actually activated it on any networks or used it like outside my house. I just used it for the videos and stuff like that. The couple videos I did on it, but I got the Moto Razor 2025, so I don't need the Stylus 2 and then the S25 Ultra. So I'm gonna let the Moto go, the Stylus at least, not the Razor. The Razor I'm waiting on my Clicks keyboard to come in that I got for free. And I'll be looking forward to trying that on the phone. So we're gonna have a lot of action here in the next couple months because we'll be getting iOS 19 on the iPhone. We'll be getting One UI 8 here in the next do vertical lives. I can't do a vertical live from my computer though. I would have to do it from a phone. Yeah, and we'll have One UI 8 One UI 8 coming here probably in the next couple weeks, if not maybe sometime late this week, early next week. And then of course we've got Android 16 right now, so 3 different betas about to be going on at the same time. All right, so we're installing the update here. Oh, does it tell? It says what it adds, but I wish I could have just canceled this update and had it check for Android 16, but it didn't do it. It's probably going through a bunch of different updates though, since it was so far behind. Usually this like moves slow and then it'll take off here in a second. I can see your messages. Well, at least I think I can. You said the installation's done, and then something about the messages not being sent, and now you can see them sending. I was trying to do this before the stream, but like I said, this update kind of started itself before I wanted it to. It's probably got like, I mean, Pixel updates come out like monthly, so it's got probably like a good 3 or 4 updates that it's got to go through. Not each update, obviously, but you know, they're bigger because it's combined. At least it's not like when you get a Samsung that's been sitting for a while and you have to go through each update, but one by one by one. I bought a used Fold that had been restored to the factory firmware, and it was like a year old, and I had to go through like 6 or 7 different updates one at a time, and it took forever. I think Pixels have seamless updates. I think the Pixel is the first one to have the seamless update. Yeah, it's got seamless updates. If it didn't, I think we would have to do the updates one by one. I'm not sure. I've only ever had to do that on like Samsungs, but I haven't had. The only Samsung I have with with seamless updates is the S25 Ultra, and that one's not. You know, I've had that since new, so I haven't missed any updates on it. I really like the haptics on the Pixel though. One thing I like, I don't. This update's not moving, but I'm pretty sure it'll jump up here in a minute. The only thing the only thing I miss is on the Pro you have the thermometer, which is pretty cool to play with, and I found it pretty accurate. And then this one, instead of the polished stainless steel sides, you get the aluminum sides, but but you get the polished back. So kind of reflective, kind of fingerprinty, but I didn't really need to pay $200 more to get the Pro when the base version of this phone is like the higher end version of other Androids, like 12 gigs of RAM, same processor. The only thing I get if I went up to the Pro is a slightly brighter screen, an LPTO display, or LTPO, whatever it is. So 1 to 120 hertz instead of this one that's 60 to 120. And then the cameras and the thermometer. Everything else is basically, like, this phone was on sale for $599, and I had a $250 gift card to Best Buy. So I get those gift cards from points on that Samsung thing I do. So when you see me posting like Samsung shorts and stuff, that basically paid for this. Yeah, the Pixels have a good camera. I think Android 16 on the Pixel is about to be really nice though. Like I said, I don't know if you were here when I started the stream or if I had my mic muted, because I accidentally had the mic muted. But when I, oh, that didn't work. Let me. Why are you not working? Let's see, let me re-add that. When I started, hold on a second, let me figure this out. There we go. No, it's not sized right. There we go. And then for some reason when you change the input on this camera, you have to, oh, it froze. Why are we frozen? Don't freeze. Bad camera. You have to like readjust it on the camera itself. There we go. Should I try it on your Pixel 7? I don't know. I haven't gotten it on my Pixel 9 yet. So, yeah, I had, for some reason, this camera is really weird. Let me make sure this didn't, okay, there we go. Yeah. For some reason, the camera is really weird. I have to go into like the settings and do the, like click use preset and then uncheck it for it to come up. I don't know why. It doesn't really like to do 4K on Streamlabs for some reason. This is not the beta. This is, I don't know what this is doing. It's not moving, which is kind of annoying. It says optimizing your device. It did say installing, so it says installing up there, but I don't know what it's doing. If it doesn't start figuring its life out here in a second, we're going to try something else. Yeah, this isn't my main device. I have this phone. I have an iPhone. I have my S25 Ultra. I have my Razer 2025. So I've got a bunch of different devices. I usually run the beta on pretty much all of them except for the Motos because they don't really have a beta. But I'll run the beta on my S25 Ultra. I'll run it on my iPhone. About to do that here in a couple weeks. And then the Pixel. So yeah, I mean, the beta is not too bad on here because it was already in a, developer preview and stuff like that. So some of the stuff got worked out, some of the bugs, but obviously there's not a lot of changes until the beta. I don't know why this is taking too long. Like, I feel like it's moving, but it's very, very slow. Best overall camera? I would say probably the Pixel or the iPhone. I'm not a huge photography person, though, so I couldn't tell you, like, the specs, but I think the Pixel and the iPhone have good, like, computational photography. Maybe not the best hardware, camera hardware, but they do a good, like, whatever you want to call it, like post-production kind of deal. Like, you know, making the photo look good after you take it is basically what I'm trying to say. Like I said, I don't really do photos much or anything like that. I do, more hardware stuff and like not software stuff like coding, but like, I just run betas on my devices. I don't really review them in terms of like cameras and all that kind of stuff. Other than that, I just use them as a regular phone. So, and for me, the extent I use a phone camera for is um, mostly I will take a picture of something to post it on, eBay, X, or send it in a photo, in a text. That's the gist of me using my phone camera. I don't really use my phone camera for anything, any serious photography or videography or anything like that. I might plug this in a second to my computer and try to do it that way. I don't want to have to, like, I installed all my apps so we don't have to start from you know, scratch, but I don't know what this is doing. Like, I don't think it's moving. It does say this may take a while, so I mean, it's not, I guess we can, I don't want to have to wipe it. Is it going to wipe? I'm pretty sure it's going to wipe if I use the Pixel Flash tool. Because I'm pretty sure it makes you unlock the bootloader. Yeah, it does. So if I do that, it's gonna make me wipe it. I mean, it's moving. It's just not going as fast as I hoped. I wasn't really trying to make you guys wait for all this. But this update popped up before I enrolled it for the beta. So yeah, I mean, it's moving. It's just way slow. It just jumped ahead a little bit when I opened it back up. I'm hoping it gets past wherever the slow part is and kind of just skips ahead. Because it's taking its sweet time. Do do do. All right, well, this takes its sweet time. I will be right back. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I'm just going to put the be right back thing on so people don't like wonder why I'm not responding to them, but I will be back in 1 second. All right, we are back. I just updated mine. The haptics is better. New theme. What else you changed? I mean, the new theme. Notification lights back through the screen flash. I think that's the notification flash has always been there. That's been there for a while, I'm pretty sure. You have the new status bar icons, the new quick settings. All that kind of stuff is new. That's just from what I've seen. I haven't. Lord, this is taking forever. That's just from what I've seen. I haven't had a chance to play with it yet because we're installing it right now. So we shall see here in a minute what we're gonna get. This is not installing the beta right now. Like I said, we're waiting on this other update that was already in here, ready to go, to install before. If I knew this was going to happen, I would have just installed it, like flashed it. But if I flash it now, then I'm going to have to wipe it, and that's just going to be a pain in the butt. It'll probably be faster just to wait for this rather than have to set everything up again when if I wipe it. Because I'm assuming once this gets probably halfway or so, it'll hopefully speed up. Come on, Pixel, hurry it up. All right, it seems like we're gaining a little. Oh, I saw a jump. We're gaining a little bit of speed here. So hopefully we're getting somewhere. Because it is taking its sweet, extremely sweet time. And like I said, if you guys aren't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we will be doing Android 16, One UI 8, and iOS 19 betas all in the next couple weeks. So click that subscribe button, click that thumbs up. Bell icon so you know when I go live. We're almost there. Do. Hey. See, told you to jump ahead. And now we can actually get on with the regularly scheduled programming. Provided that the beta update shows up after we reboot here. All right. Let's go ahead and get her logged back in here. Settings. Oh, now that this update's done, let's see if we have the battery thing. Nope. I don't know where it is. Maybe I had a beta on my, I don't know. Whatever. All right, so we're checking for an update. Anybody in the chat know why my battery information, like where the cycle count is, isn't showing up? Like I have no battery information section. All right, here we go. Android 16 QPR Beta 1. And it's 3.17 gigabytes. I know somebody was asking that a little bit ago. So now we wait for this one to download. Anybody in the chat? Somebody say hello. Yeah. I'm just watching some videos on what's new too, so I can show some of it. All right, thanks for watching, Casper. Yeah, I'll post. I'll probably post a video on it tomorrow or Friday. Halfway there. Yeah, well, it's downloading. This one not installing. We still got to go through the install. We're almost there. We're so close. We're so close. Midu Gaming. I just unboxed this phone, and when I enrolled in the beta, um, it installed another update first. So I had to install that update. I had to install that update before I could actually check for the beta update. So the beta update only took about the past like 20 minutes. I would have just flashed it, but I set up I restored from a backup, and I didn't have to wipe it. Wiping didn't do anything. It was just going to take longer. I'm watching some videos on it right now. It looks really nice. This looks like it's going way faster than the last update, though. Yeah, I think it looks really nice. Well, I spoke too soon. It looks like it was going faster. Now it's kind of sitting in the same spot the last one did for a while, but we know it'll probably it sits there for a second, then it starts jumping around. Yeah, I've got. I mean, I use my iPhone kind of like as my main device, but I've got a S25 Ultra, Razer 2025, Pixel. I don't think you can right now. I don't think they have. I'm not too sure because you sometimes you can install like the open source project on another device, but I don't think it's available in the beta yet, or while it's in beta at least. There's no like generic. I think it's called the generic system image. I'm pretty sure. I don't have any devices that support that, so I don't really look. Yep, no problem. It'll probably take another like 10 minutes for this to install. All right, here we go. Time for Android 16, finally. That was supposed to be like 30 minutes, not 3 years. All right, we get our little beta warning there. Let me sign in. So we have more space for apps. All right, so I want to try something real quick. So the video I was watching, this was one of the things. So when you tap, didn't do it. There we go. So the screen kind of fades in from where you tap now instead of just at the bottom. I don't know how I turn that on. No. So there's nice haptics. The new settings panel right here. I'll have to go through and change some like the theming and stuff like that because, like I said, it restored from my backup. So some of this is kind of restored from another backup. But let me see. I like how this is laid out. Okay, we have battery information finally. So you can see this was manufactured on December 9th and first use was today. So that for some reason was not showing up in any of the updates until I just installed Android 16. So I don't know why that wasn't on here before, but it is there now. So here we have the same kind of thing. I believe if you say phone is warm, yeah, it'll actually check your device temperature in the battery settings now. So you can see it's 101. We're one notch before the yellow. We just installed an update, so that's probably pretty normal. You can turn on and off the battery percentage. The battery percentage now shows in the, let me see if I can zoom in more. I can't. Now shows in the battery icon. And then when you swipe down, it's not doing it right now, probably because it just finished the update and started back up, but it will show your time remaining, your estimated time remaining, like, 12 hours or 1 day or whatever the case may be until your battery's dead. So it will show that once it learns your usage. Like I said, this is a new phone, new setup, so it hasn't done that yet. So we have notification settings right here, which is where that takes us into there. And then we have notification history, which I usually leave that turned off, but you can access that right here on the bottom now. And then you can also hit clear all. And of course that gets rid of it. We have the new brightness slider right here. Oh, here we go. So when you swipe down one more time, you can see right here until 1:15. Excuse me, 1:15 p.m. So no, I don't think there's any new AI features. It's just the Gemini stuff. And then you can resize these as well. So I don't know how. Oh, here we go. So if I want to make the Bluetooth one just a little dot, we can leave that. We'll just make dark themes. You just tap it, slide it over. I don't need that one. I don't need that one. Flashlight can come up here, and it can be a little one. Auto rotate. I don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. We'll leave all those. We'll add internet. I want to make modes. We'll leave that the big one. We'll put battery share up there. So there's our tiles. Flashlight, battery share. Screen recorder. And then we have modes in the other two. Other two down there. Adaptive charging with the 80% limit. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's raining outside. So yeah, I really like how the settings is laid out now. Bump that up to 90%. Got your settings here for adaptive brightness, which I leave turned off. Lock screen. We have new notifications, so you can do a full list or you can do a compact view. Show silent notifications, whether you want to show sensitive content or not. Dynamic lock. So clock changes according to lock screen content. You can change your shortcuts right here. That just brings up your lock screen editor where you can actually change your wallpaper and everything right there. Wake screen for notifications, we'll turn that off. We should have our ambient display. Yep, right there with your notification icons. And then we have your always on display settings right here. There's no settings for it. It just, on and off, which I kind of hate that on the Pixel. The Pixel has like the least customizable always on display out of, anything iPhone, Samsung. There's no widgets, there's no wallpaper. I think a wallpaper might be coming, but as of right now, we can't change anything like that. We've got your dark theme right here, so we can turn that off. You can do the schedule, custom time, sunset to sunrise, that kind of stuff right there. So turn that back on. Colors, adaptive or natural, all that kind of stuff's new, but I'm just showing you guys how it's laid out now. Touch sensitivity, touch diagnostics, auto rotate, smooth display. If we go to wallpaper and style here, we can change our style. Again, here's where you can do your notifications on the lock screen. So there's a couple different ways to access that. Lock screen settings again. You can change your wallpapers. So you can tap to edit your photo there. Same thing on this. You can edit your wallpaper right there. So you're supposed to be able to change your icon type right here, but there is a bug. It just gives you the themed icon section. There's no option to change your actual icon shape. I'm trying to find out where you can change your theme. Here's the clock and the color and everything. That's for the clock itself, so you can make that kind of look however you want. You can change the size. I think I'm going to turn that back off, just leave it like that. I'm trying to find the color, like the background color, because it's like brown. And I know you can change that, but I thought it was in here. Do you have to go into here? No. Notifications on lock screen. Nope. So I don't know, because we're in the style section, but I don't see. Yeah, the weather, to do the effects on the lock screen, you have to use a custom photo. I don't have any photos on here right now. I just have the default stuff. But you have to use an actual gallery photo to do that. I don't know how you change the does anybody know how you change the color, like where it's like brown on the background? There used to be a setting for that. I don't know, everybody's gonna say you can search it, but not that color. That's not what I want. Yeah, I feel like it should be in here. Let's just change. I don't like that one, but ask Gemini. How do I change the color in Android 16?
Android 16, with its Material 3 expressive design language, introduces significant changes to color customization. Here's how you'll likely be able to change colors. 1. Wallpaper and style settings. This is the primary hub for personalization. Dynamic color, material.
Yeah, it says within wallpaper and style. Am I missing a setting somewhere? Nothing there. Okay, wait. Oh, okay. I'm dumb. These options down here below it change based on whether you're on lock screen or home screen. There we go. And you can see it changing. It changes like dynamically in the background. It doesn't even have to like reload. So that's where you can change. Okay. That's still broken though. Yeah, I was like, where is it? You just have to switch over to wallpaper instead of lock screen. There we go. Now it's not brown. Well, asking Gemini did point us in the right direction, so. Oh, that's cool. I don't know if that's new or not, but dismiss notifications across Pixel devices. That's one thing I wish more devices would do, would be switching, dismissing notifications. Like if I dismiss like a notification, and some apps do it, but like, system wide, notification cooldown, flash notification, so you can do camera flash, so it just flashes your camera light. I don't like that just because my camera starts flashing in my pocket. You can do the screen. Wish they just put the LED notification back on here. We'll turn that on. Yeah, I really wish they'd throw a little notification LED back on the top there. Man, I remember my Samsungs, like my Note. You could customize your color for different apps and all this kind of stuff, and oh, so nice. You could, and the cool thing was like, I mean, on here, I don't have any notifications right now. You can see your little notification, thing on the always on display, stuff like that. But it was just so nice being able to see the color of the LED and know what app you were, was notifying you. That was like the best feature. I'm trying to think of some of the other stuff that's new. I really like this, how it doesn't seem to do it every time, probably a little bit of a bug, but like if I tap up here, the screen wakes up from up there. If I tap down here, it wakes up from down there. Like I said, it seems like the first time you do it after it sleeps for a while, that it doesn't do it, but it's probably just a bug that they'll fix. Yeah, we already went through battery. Need to adjust the sensitivity on the gestures. We'll have that on. So can you okay, so you can really, I really like how it's not just like three positions. You can really like fine tune the sensitivity. There we go. Okay, now it doesn't suck. Yeah, I mean, I do like the fact that they updated the look of it though. I really like when they change stuff like this and it doesn't feel stale. I'm really hoping that iOS 18 or iOS 19 gets a good redesign like we're expected to see. Go to the gestures here. Everything, all this is the same, but digital assistant, and I like how you can change the press and hold duration of that. Quick tap to start actions. Is that the back? Yeah, the back of the device. And I always like this one for turning on the flashlight. It's not doing it because I'm in the menu, but does it have to be awake to do it? Yeah, it has to be awake to do it. I actually might use um, show notifications. That way I don't have to reach up to swipe. I can just back tap and it comes right down. Again, not a new feature, but it's there. Double press on the power button, camera wallet. I wish you could add an app to that. But yeah, that's all the settings it looks like. Got your modes. I think we saw all the notification stuff. Yeah, we did. So yeah, pretty cool. There's the new app drawer with the blurred background. You got your little handle right there. We'll go into home settings here too. At a glance, settings are all the same. Turn that off so I don't get a bunch of apps on my home screen. Those are all the same settings. I don't know why you want to do that. You can go in here and hit apps list and bring up your app drawer that way too. But everything else looks pretty much the same. But yep, that's Android 16. It's very nice, very refined. Um, Dynamic spot. Oh yeah, the I've used that before, where you can get the little you get a little like LED ring around your camera. Yeah, I mean those are cool. I've used that before. I have the paid version of that app. I'm pretty sure, but it's still not the same as having the actual LED off the screen. But you know that is an alternative, like you said, if you're looking for something like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer my sim over to this, and I'm going to give it a good test and try it out for the next few days. I'll probably do a video tomorrow. Sorry it took so long to get everything installed. Like I said, I wasn't planning on having to install an update before this to get it to work, but we did. So I'm gonna go play around with it. I'm gonna get all my apps set up. Like I said, I just got this phone for running the beta, so I don't have anything set up on it yet. I just reinstalled the apps from my backup, but I haven't logged into anything yet. So I'm gonna go do that, try out the apps, get everything working, like I said, and then probably tomorrow afternoon I'll come back and do another little short video on my first impressions, and then a longer review probably over the weekend. Fortnite, I'll try. I have a couple games that I mess around with here and there, but I don't really play too many games on any of my phones. So even if I download games on this, I don't have much to compare it to because I don't game on my iPhone. I don't game on my Samsung. If I play games, it's either on PC or like Xbox. But yeah, I'll test it out. I'll test out some different apps, social media, video streaming, and stuff like that. You know, I use YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, all that kind of stuff, texting, web browsing. You know, the basic stuff and a little bit more. And I'll come back with you for you guys with another review here at the end of the week. So thank you guys for watching the live stream. I'm Colin with Techout. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe.